Hi, welcome to this new book summary. Unscripted is a business book written by MJ Demarco, the author of The Millionaire Fastlane. The book dispels myths about becoming rich and gives a complete mental and business framework to build a company that earns multiple millions per year. Sit tight, because you will learn a lot. Society has scripted you to think becoming rich is impossible. Or that you need connection, VC funding, a PhD in physics, and a lot of luck. But none of this is true. And yet you believe it. You believe it because of the script. The script runs deep inside your brain. Its purpose is to disguise the fact that not only slavery still exists, but that you are a slave. Modern slavery entails working Monday to Friday for 50 years before being allowed some time off, as you are about to die. Sounds familiar? Unscripted will help you escape this hell by showing you how to build a fast-lane company and live rich for a lifetime. Unscripted is not something you try. It is something you live. It is about changing your choices, your beliefs, and your habits to change the outcome of your life. Part 1: Confession: The Modern-Day Matrix. The script. The script is a set of actions that society compels you to take. It's a forced how-to-live life guide. Go to university, get a job, work for 50 years to make someone else rich, give your money to Wall Street to protect yourself against inflation because the government cannot stop printing, retire poor, live healthy for 10 more years, die. That's the road everyone takes. There is another road, with better outcomes. But to take it, you need to unscripted yourself first. Part 2: The script. Engineering your voluntary slavery. The script is an operating system made out of seeders, hyperrealities, temporal prostitution, life path, distractions, and model citizenship. Seeders, they indoctrinate you into the script, and gaslight you if you dare challenge their teachings. They usually profit from you being scripted, and usually represent authority. You have 6 types of seeders. Some are aware of the lie they propagate, others aren't. 1. Friends and family. They don't want you to succeed above their own success. 2. Education. From Monday to Friday, school teaches you to obey and do what is expected of you. They shame you when you fail so they can better orientate you towards what is safe. School trains you to be a good employee. 3. Corporations. They push the script so that you spend your hard-earned money on their products to feel better about yourself. 4. Wall Street. They push the script so you give them your money, which they can use to make more money for themselves and a bit for you. 5. The government. They repeat scripted lies to get votes. The media. They have become the spokesperson of the government. 6. Hyperrealities. Your illusionary captors the script projects onto you and your loved ones' hyperrealities to force you to do life within its paradigm. Their purpose is to distract you from your misery. Once you see the hyperrealities, the script can no longer exercise that power on you. There are 9 hyperrealities, named days. They condition you to work Monday to Friday and leave Saturday and Sunday for play. Out of the 7 days you get for yourself, you're giving 5 to your employer and 2 to you. Consumerism. Consumerism gives consumers the impression that consumption can make them successful. Companies spend each year billions in marketing to create that hyperreality. A college degree. It doesn't change anything to your capacity to provide value for others. Hyperpersonality. A representation of someone's personality through a medium that does not represent reality. The script worships these people as gods, making their level seem unattainable, while in fact, they are as human as you are. Virtual realities. Video games make us feel better about ourselves by giving us the impression we are achieving something while in fact, we're stupidly looking at a screen. Most of these games are made so that their hyperrealities replace the real reality. Entertainment. Entertainment becomes a hyperreality when its investment becomes irrational or a part of one's identity. Example: people that cry after their favorite sports team lost. Money. Money has value because everyone agrees it has. Sometimes, everyone agrees it loses its value, and so it becomes worthless. Freedom. You're not free. You can't go wherever you want, do whatever you want, whenever you want. You need to respect rules, visa, taxes, etc., and if you don't, you will most likely go to prison. Everything you own does not really belong to you, as if you stop paying taxes, the government will come to take it from you. Ownership isn't real. freedom either. Corporations. The hyperreality wants to make you believe that corporations are autonomous entities spreading evil. The truth is that corporations are a group of people using a title provided to them by law to protect themselves against their own nefarious actions. Temporal prostitution, trading good time for bad. There is a 10th hyperreality, temporal prostitution. By paying you money against time, society makes you think that time is infinite while money isn't. It's in fact the opposite. Money is infinite, but everyone ends up running out of time at some point. And there is worse. Ever heard of the time value of money? It's an economics principle that explains that the value of your money will decrease over time, due to printing. $10 today is worth much more than $10 in the future. So when you trade time for money and buy stuff with your money, you are trading part of your life you will never get back against useless objects. Time is split into two, free time and indentured time. The first one belongs to you. The second belongs to someone else, your boss. If you don't create a system that makes money split from time, you will never be free. 2 doors, 1 slaughterhouse, no difference. The first door is the sidewalk. The sidewalk is about living off debt and borrowing money to spend today. It's trading tomorrow for today's consumption. Sidewalkers identify themselves through what they consume and fully live the script. I consume, therefore I am. Anyone can be a sidewalker. Net worth is irrelevant. Sidewalkers are those that spend 100% or more of what they earn. As a result, they never reach a level where money is making more money by itself. Sidewalkers are temporal prostitutes. They let anyone have their time for money. The second door is the slow lane. It's about saving as much as you can from your salary, investing in mutual funds, etc., so you can be rich for your retirement. The equation is trading today for tomorrow. The principle on which it rests is that time can make you rich. Time, through a patient 5% a year return, if you're lucky and avoid financial crashes, which you won't, will make you a millionaire by the time you are 80 years old with Alzheimer's and about to die. While the slow lane is based on consuming less, which is good, it is also based on living less. Every cent must be accounted for. Every 4-star hotel must be a 2-star hotel. Every night out must be the $5 Domino's pizza of the week, and every car a Prius. Slow laners are not the master of their wallet. They rely on hope for their plan to work. Hope that Wall Street will reach new highs every day. Hope that they will get a high-paying job. Hope that the government doesn't print too much money. Model citizenry. Sidewalkers and slow laners both do what society expects them to do. Sidewalkers obey the ads and consume. Slow laners obey Yahoo Finance and save. They're good citizens. They're model citizens, mediocre. Life is mediocre. Its purpose, instead of thriving, is surviving. Obedient. I am so stressed out about what the media have said about the plan of the government. Dependent. If it's not Wall Street that owns your portfolio, your time, and your person, it's the government. Entertained. We are finally going to know why James told Sarah he loved her while he was dating Jessica. Lifeless, dreams, hope, and optimism no longer exist. To summarize, Cedars teach and instill the script into you. After you got your college degree, you will have to work from Monday to Friday for a company to earn money. You are free to work for whomever you want. That money will enable you to buy a bunch of cool stuff like video games where you are the hero, cinema tickets, and a phone to follow your favorite stars. After you refunded all of your debt and spared every nickel to reinvest in your stock portfolio, you will finally be able to afford that vacation in the Maldives you have always dreamt about, if cancer does not take you out before the flight. How does that sound? Part 3. Your life unscripted. The unscripted life is defined by the capacity of those that live it to say, F you. This translates to being free from obligations most people have to attend no matter what. These are 1. Freedom from work. Do whatever you want. 2. Freedom from scarcity and frugal constraint. Buy whatever you want. 3. Freedom from hyperrealistic influence. The unscripted does not care about who won the Grammy Awards or the game last night. 4. Freedom from hope and dependence. Dependence on a boss company, the government, or the stock market does not exist for the unscripted. 5. Freedom from ordinary and routine. There is no place you have to be in, which leads you to be spontaneous. F this before FU. The F this event is the event where you break out of the script and decide to stop letting it consume your life. It's taking the red pill, except that it's not as painless. The F this event is the first step into hell. It's a moment of pain in your life that is so powerful that it changes you and your behavior forever. If you don't know whether you have had an FT, then you likely haven't. You may have had an F this moment, but not an event. An event changes your life forever. The FT has 4 threats. If they exist, they will likely decrease the strength of the event. These are: 1. Mediocre comfort. If your situation gives you comfort that does not hurt badly enough to trigger change, you will unlikely change. 2. Your guarded pride and ego. To succeed, you gotta be willing to look dumb and fail. If you're too cool and fear what other people may think of you, you won't succeed. 3. Your responsibilities. Having multiple kids with multiple women and multiple mortgages and debt for multiple stuff you don't need will prevent an FT from happening due to decision paralysis. 4. Fear. The fear of the unknown, of failure, of ridicule, will keep you from taking action. Real action. Part 4. The Escape. The Unscripted Entrepreneurial Framework. The Unscripted Entrepreneurial Framework, or TUNF, is a 5-phase progression of both thoughts and action, both uniting in a series of macro and micro processes. TUNF has 6 steps: 1. The FT, which we talked about. 2. 3 BS, bullshits, biases, and beliefs, plus the 8 belief scams. 3. MP, meaning and purpose, the why, the core driver. 4. FE, Fastlane Entrepreneurship, growing a fastlane business with the SENSE framework. 5. Kinetic Execution, Act, Assess, Adjust. 6. The 4 disciplines: comparative immunity, purpose savings, measured elevation, consequential thought. The entrepreneurial G-spot. This is the day you realize you can make an income through your company and live off it. The day you realize you can be free. TUNF is fueled by 2 processes: the micro and macro processes. Micro processes are your beliefs and thought patterns. It's how you define money and how you think it is acquired. Macro processes are your repeated and modified actions. Repeated because change happens after a process of repeating the same action. And modified because of the feedback loop that enables you to take better actions each time. Why do most people fail? Most people fail because they are waiting for a silver bullet. A silver bullet is the secret that self-development books promise you and never deliver because it doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is working and taking action. There is no quick fix. No secrets. Only work. Our self-imposed prison, beliefs, biases, and dumb men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. The 3 BS drive or derail your path as an entrepreneur. They are super important. Belief, what you think is true that isn't necessarily. Biases, mental shortcuts protecting your beliefs. Bullshit, the BS you tell yourself. Beliefs are so important that they are accounted for in science, the placebo effect. Beliefs drive our actions. You have 2 types of beliefs: true beliefs and false beliefs. True beliefs are actionable knowledge. False beliefs create mistakes, illusions, or inactions. In psychiatry, false beliefs are called delusions. You must address your delusions if you hope to change them. Unfortunately, many will try to prevent you from doing so. The first step to saying the world F you is to unlearn the things that are F-king you. The 8 belief scams. We don't challenge our beliefs. We seek to reinforce them. Most of the time, our beliefs aren't even our beliefs. They were planted by someone else. Right now, the scripted OS is to your brain what a parasite is to a dog. To get rid of it, you need to kill the 8 false beliefs that are ruling your life. You do so by polarizing them. When the world thinks white, think black. When the world buys, sell. Let's have a look at these 8 beliefs. Belief number 1. The shortcut scam. Ordinary doesn't compel extraordinary events. 99% vs process 1%. The shortcut scam is the idea that extraordinary wins can be achieved through a shortcut, without doing the hard work that creates extraordinary results. It's often seen in advertising. This pill will help you lose 20 kilograms without any effort within a week. This scam comes from our culture, which emphasizes events over processes. We don't want to exercise and get a diet. We want the results to happen overnight. The truth is that extraordinary events require extraordinary effort, habits, and sacrifice over a long period of time. The secret to shortcuts, as such, is that they don't exist. Unscripted people understand process precedes events. Since you are likely event-driven, you need to become process-driven. Here are 9 steps to help you. 1. Intelligent awareness. Look at people in the supermarket. Fat people have ice cream in their carts and fit people have meat and vegetables. In both cases, their situation is the result of an event: eating crap without working out for years and eating healthy while working out for years. 2. Modify expectations and realign the source of difficulty. Extraordinary results demand extraordinary action. That means you need to forget about the idea that you can get rich quick and easy. There is no silver bullet, no shortcuts. Excellence cannot be reached with mediocre efforts. Success is actually simple. Take the long road, invest, be process-oriented, repeat, and reach your destination. 3. Identify and visualize the change target. If you don't identify where you want to go, you'll never reach the destination. Identify and visualize what you want. Be specific. 4. Attach a number to your goal. Numbers help you measure your progress. If you want to make some money, know how much. If you want to lose weight, know your desired weight. 5. Identify the daily action target. Identify the daily actions, the routine, that will take you to your desired destination. If you want to walk to China, that would be walking 25 kilometers every day towards the east. 6. Identify threats to your daily target. What do you do that slows you down and that you should stop doing? Is it social media, socializing, video games? 7. Identify the proper battlefields. If you play too many video games, it's not about resisting the temptation to play. It's about getting rid of the console. Focus on the right battle. 8. Attack bad habits with inconvenience or pain. If you want to play video games and the Xbox is in the attic, that will make it much more complicated. If you threw it away, it'll be impossible. 9. Act until a feedback loop develops, and you can adjust to take better action. Work until you have feedback, and then only decide on the next step. Should you continue or adjust? A process is like dominoes. Get the first one moving and slowly, the others will be moving too. Belief number 2, the special scam. I am not good at that. Fixed 99% vs growth 1%. The special scam is a double-edged belief. It is the thought that one's current skills and abilities are enough to reach their goals, or that their skills and abilities are fixed and can't be extended or improved. Hard work appears unnecessary because we are enough, or hard work appears useless because we'll never be enough. Both of these excuses serve to avoid hard work, and both testify to the existence of a fixed mindset. People with fixed mindsets don't evolve. They spend time looking for clues of their own intelligence and convince themselves of it. They never improve in anything. Were you told you were a genius, a prodigy, a smart kid as a child? Then you probably have a fixed mindset. Forget about all that now. It's time to replace this fixed mindset with the idea that progress is first of all possible, but that it is also long and painful. However, it is the only way to change your outcome. Implementing the Kaizen principle will help you. Kaizen is the idea that you should aim at mastery by making tiny improvements on a daily basis without comparing yourself to anyone. 3 points are important here. Mastery. Be the best at something you can be. Tiny improvement daily. Have you actually worked or action faked? No comparison. No need to compare yourself to others. You are your only competitor. Finally, never praise intelligence, talent, or ability in other people. Praise efforts, work, process, and improvements instead. Belief number 3, the consumption scam. How much time did that cost? Consumption 99% vs production 1%. The consumption scam is the belief that consumption has nothing to do with production. As kids, we get stuff for free. without working for it. This is where the genesis of this belief starts. Had we lived in nature, we would have realized that nothing is free. Every acquirement of any type of good required work, from hunting to fishing to the gathering. The consumption scam is why people must go to work, and why many have no choices. Until they began to produce first, and consume second, they won't be free. We need to realize that debt is equals production minus consumption. People that get into debt simply consume more than they produce. Where slow laners would tend to decrease consumption, fast laners tend to increase production. It is quite simple. If you want to live well, you need to produce well. This mindset shift is powerful. It is going from looking at what you can take, to looking at what you can give. Here are other initiatives to take to help you operate the mindset shift. Don't follow the herd, lead it. Don't take the road already traveled, pave new paths. Don't buy a franchise, franchise your company and sell it. Don't rent out. Don't borrow money, lend it. Don't buy the brand, sell it. Don't get hired, hire. Don't buy on Black Friday, sell. Don't buy the latest trend. Sell it. Don't buy stocks. Sell them. When you shift your mind from consumption to production, you will look at ads not for what you can buy, but for how it was designed. Look at shops not for what you can buy, but for what types of items are sold. Look at companies not for what they can do for you, but for what you can do for them. Look at other people not for what they can give you, but for what you can give them. Belief number 4, the money scam. I can get rich by wanting to get rich. Money 99% vs value 1%. The money scam consists of going after money instead of going after value. People doing this are called money chasers. They change jobs often to get higher salaries, buy infomercials, get rich quick schemes, etc. In the end, they rarely succeed to get money because they do not understand its nature. So what is money? Money is a means of exchange where agreed perceived value is stored. However, perceived value and the actual value, also called extrinsic value and intrinsic value, don't always match. For example, let's take Da Vinci's painting Salvator Mundi. Saudi Arabia bought it for $450 million. That's the extrinsic value. It is what the buyer thinks the painting is worth. The intrinsic value, the actual value, can be measured by looking at the price of the material to make the painting. A bit of wood, color, and a canvas, or about $20 give or take. So what does this story tell us? It tells us that money cannot be chased. It can only be attracted. It is by creating something other people will perceive as value that you will be able to exchange it for money. Money equals perceived value. To go further, your net worth equals how much value you have created for others. So, how do you attract money? Stop using the word money. Replace it with value vouchers. Then, you need to build a bridge so that the value vouchers can start pouring. You do so with 4 building blocks: create value, product, service. Communicate that value to another party that has their own estimates of that value. Get a mutual agreement for the exchange of value, deliver value, and receive the value vouchers. Congratulations, you just made money. Belief number 5, the poverty scam. I am poor because you are rich. Selfish 99% vs selfless 1%. The poverty scam is a belief that value creation is a zero-sum game. It isn't. He who produces value, and gets money for it, does not prevent anyone else from also providing value and getting money for it. As such, poor people aren't rich because rich people are rich. Poor people aren't rich because they are not delivering much value. Now, whatever you're selling absolutely needs to be something that has both actual and perceived value. Selling something with no actual value is a scam, and you can't succeed as an entrepreneur if you scam people. The truth about money in the economy is that it is spent on stuff people like to buy. Jeff Bezos isn't rich because he is evil. He is rich because he provided services that people buy. If that person who you are buying from wasn't selling something valuable to you, you wouldn't be buying it. Polarizer, the fiduciary principle. Next time you go to a cafe, or wait for the bus, take a moment to observe your environment. You are probably staying at Starbucks developed by Howard Schultz, or waiting under a bus stop made by J.C. DeCall. You will probably check Facebook invented by Mark Zuckerberg, Or search for an answer to an important question on Google invented by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, all of this from your iPhone invented by Steve Jobs. You need to realize that if all of those rich people hadn't taken huge risks to launch their businesses and invent new things, we would still be living in the Stone Age. Everything that is widely used today was first and foremost invented by someone who, as a result of providing value, became subsequently rich. As such, it's not anger you should feel toward these people. It's gratitude. If you also want to be rich, you need to do what these people have done. You need to embrace the willingness to selflessly serve the selfish. Belief number 6. The luck scam. You don't play. You don't win. Luck 99% vs probability 1%. The luck scam is the belief that one's fortune in life is dependent on luck. This is ridiculous. Nothing comes for free. The author of the book failed several times before building his company that made him millions. What got him there is that he never stopped, and kept on acting until it worked. Killing the luck idea. Take a coin, bet the side it will land on, and flip. Did you win? Do you suddenly call yourself lucky? Did you lose? Do you suddenly call yourself unlucky? Now let's imagine that if you called the coin correctly, you earned $10 million. Suddenly, you'd call yourself lucky if you won. And yet, the odds to win, 50-50, didn't change. Now let's say you got 10 shots at launching the coin to call it correctly and earn the $10 million. Well, in essence, this is exactly what entrepreneurship is. It is repeating again and again until you get to win. So if you hope to win, you gotta play the game long enough. Richard Wiseman, a psychologist, has studied luck and lucky people extensively. His conclusion is that luck can be influenced. While unlucky people don't know that their behavior yields misery, lucky people do know. He suggests 3 habits to adopt to be luckier. 1. Intuition. People that follow their gut are luckier than people who don't. 2. Routine. If you stay on your path, you decrease the chances to find a lucky strike. Talk to a variety of people, do a variety of things, and expose yourself to a variety of situations. 3. Be positive and thankful. Belief number 7. The frugality scam. Live poor, die rich. Defense 99% vs offense 1%. It is difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. The frugality scam is the belief that excessive expense reduction will someday make you rich. This is what the slow lane get-rich gurus advertise. Invest $100 per week and become a millionaire in 50 years. Yeah. Anyone heard about a thing called inflation? These techniques don't work because they are merely about defense, about spending less. No one talks about producing more. So the question is, can you get rich young? Yes. Open the newspaper, you'll see plenty of people that get rich quickly. Get rich quick is possible. Get rich easy isn't. In between quick and easy, most people will choose easy. As a result, they are not rich. Those that got rich quick have 2 critical characteristics in common: a strong offense underscored by controllable unlimited leverage. This means your income has a high ceiling, or no ceiling at all. A detachment of intrinsic value, in lieu of a business system. This is the idea that as long as your income is attached to time, even if you're making $1,000 hour, you will never be rich. You need to disintegrate this value and find a way to make money when you're sleeping. Belief number 8. The compound interest scam. Wall Street will not make you rich. Wealth 99% vs income 1%. We have 4 problems with Wall Street. First, Wall Street is not going to make you rich. It is making the people who manage your money rich. Second, while you often hear about rare winners in the stock market, you never hear about the losers. Those that lost their life savings in scams, bankruptcy, mismanagement, and more. Third, the stock market isn't linear. Crashes happen. But that's not something the financial gurus will tell you. Finally, the last scam of Wall Street is time. It is in a way, one of these other live poor, die rich tricks. No one ever made $50 million in 10 years by investing an $80,000 salary on the stock market. So why is compound interest so bad? It is because of the fiscal tricycle, time. Compound interest gurus speak of the period of 50 years or over. As such, it's not buy and hold, but buy and die. Reality: no one knows which company will thrive, and which will die. Therefore, if you had invested $1,000 into Apple in 1999, how much would it be worth? Is dumb. The folks writing this seem to have forgotten that Apple was an inch close to bankruptcy at some point, and only survived because Bill Gates was rich enough to let it. Furthermore, the famous graph of stock growth used to show you how much your money could be worth in 50 years usually assumes unrealistic growth rates, like 8%, or up to 12% yearly, which isn't risk-free. 2008, anyone. The risk-free rate is in fact 0.03%, was in 2018, when the book was written. Today's rates are negative. Yikes. Inflation. If your money grows by 5% every year with 3% of inflation rate, that leaves you with 2% of real growth. So, when do you use Wall Street and how? We'll cover this in detail later on. For now, just realize that Wall Street isn't worth it when you own $1,000. It's better to spend this money on Facebook ads for your product. Wall Street is worth it when you own $10 million. A mere yearly 2% on $10 million is $16,000 plus per month. No more, no less. That is when Wall Street becomes interesting. The biases, your brain's delusions. Remember the TUNIF framework. The FT, which we talked about. 3BS, beliefs and the 8 belief scams, biases and bullshit, meaning and purpose. The Y, the core driver. FE, fast-lane entrepreneurship, growing a fast-lane business with the SENSE framework. Kinetic execution, act, assess, adjust. The 4 disciplines, comparative immunity, purpose savings, measured elevation, consequential thought. In the battle for success, your real enemy is yourself, or more accurately, your brain. Your brain is the lazy machine full of biases that are wired to keep you as the failure that you are. You will face 7 biases in the pursuit of entrepreneurship. To change them, you need to bring awareness. 1. Change adversity. Refusing change is refusing success. Your brain doesn't like change, uncertainty, or risk because it is costly in energy. Design changes, for example, take time to adapt. However, if you want to succeed, you are going to have to make efforts, change and adapt. Change must precede change. If your current actions aren't making you rich, you need to change them. The first threat to change is that it's difficult to practice. The second threat to change is how you react to it. If everyone starts selling online and you don't because you don't like change and miss the trend, you will go bankrupt. Change can keep you poor or make you rich. 2. Righteousness. Why you'd rather be right than rich. It is the partner of change adversity. You'd rather be right and poor than wrong and rich. It's a bias. In fact, it's been proven that your convictions are reinforced in light of contrary evidence of their suitability. As a result, you don't change, you don't act, and you stay poor. 3. Antithetical apathy. The advice you need is the one you don't want to follow. If your goal is to be financially free, you need to align your beliefs with that goal. If you don't, you will lie to yourself or sabotage your own efforts. It means that you need to abandon the idea that rich people are evil. If you believe this while trying to get rich, then your subconscious will be met with 2 beliefs diametrically opposed. This is what antithetical apathy is. It causes stress and sabotage. People that fear success, as I do, usually have antithetical beliefs, where they think that succeeding has a price, usually the one of being a morally reprehensible person. 4. Semmelwashing. Semmelwashing doesn't come from you but from others. It is when you state a fact or truth so extraordinary and threatening to the status quo that your peers bury you for it. The semmelwashing is what you feel when everyone is against you even though you are right. For example, becoming a millionaire is possible. 5. Podium popping. Podium popping is the application of cherry-picked individual strategies from individuals that have succeeded. 12 reasons why Jeff Bezos succeeded. Warren Buffett says these 7 things made him rich. It is copying, instead of inventing, without considering the context. As such, you think that by appropriating yourself the story of someone else, you can succeed as they did. 6. Survival spotlighting. It is when you focus on winners of rarely successful paths thinking that because they made it, it's possible. For example, Uncle Jerry made millions betting on horses, so now, I will also bet on horses. You focus on the winner and don't see that behind him, there are millions of losers. 7. Momentum paralysis when you make a decision and stick to it because of FOMO. Example: waiting for the bus which is not coming, staying in a bad relationship, and committing to watching a movie that in all likelihood will suck. The principle behind this bias is the sunk cost fallacy. It is the belief that because you already have invested so much, you cannot cut your losses. This is wrong. In accounting, sunk costs aren't taken into account because they change nothing. Once it's sunk, it is sunk. There are 3 types of BS. BS 1.0, crutches, excuses explaining failure and circumstances. It's usually driven by the narrative bias, the story you tell yourself about who you are. For example, you may think that only assholes date girls, and if a girl wants to date you, you will say no because you are a nice guy. BS 2.0, cliches, reassuring thoughts and slogans that keep us stuck where we are. Fat makes you fat. Oh, these cookies are fat-free. If I eat them, I will not be fat. Good things come to those who wait. One day, it will be my turn. Better safe than sorry. Building businesses is dangerous. Money doesn't buy happiness. I am probably happier than billionaires, so. BS 3.0, cults, communities and people telling you what you want to hear. Often, these people got rich selling material they themselves did not apply. Burying BS, Socrative questioning, question yourself and your biases. Call yourself out. The cancer corollary. Let's imagine you had cancer and someone comes up with the cure for $5,000. Would you buy the cure even if that person represented everything you hate the most? Yes. When you have something people want, people don't care about your credentials or whatever else. This is the ultimate equation of money. Do you have something I want, and if so, how much will that cost me? Identity cataclysms. Action is driven by identity. If you want to stop smoking, you'll be more likely to do so by labeling yourself a non-smoker, instead of a smoker trying to quit. Similarly, it is time to label yourself as an entrepreneur, an ACT as such. Meaning and purpose. The unstoppable will to win extraordinary results demand extraordinary commitment. Commitment starts the process principle. Habits become a lifestyle and lifestyle brings results. For example, when everyone sleeps, the athlete practices. Where does this commitment come from? From meaning and purpose, the core reason why you are acting the way you do even when the task at hand seems impossible. While the 3 B's we discussed above were to inspire you to start, meaning and purpose inspire you to finish. The why is what fuels you to go through the desert of desertion. The desert of desertion is that period when the entire world seems to be trying to stop you. The why is the camel that gets you through your desert. Bad life advice. Do what you love. And follow your passion are the worst mainstream advice one can give someone else. Do what you love mentality has several problems. First, it does not take into account economics or customer demands. It's not what you love that you should be making, but what your customers love. Second, DWYL is often uttered by the few successful that actually made it by doing what they loved. But don't forget that while there is one winner of X Factor's DWYL, there are 200,000 losers. No one ever speaks about them. Third, no one cares that you love what you are doing if it's not delivering value. When you go to a restaurant and the food tastes like crap, do you care that the chef is doing what he loves? No, you want good food, period. Fourth, doing what you love will destroy that which you love. It is called the over-justification effect. You love driving? Then go drive cabs, and you will see you will soon hate it. When you are offered an incentive to do something, you will never do it again if that incentive isn't there. So if you shouldn't do what you love, what should you do? You should love the value you create. That's right. You will get much more pleasure doing something you don't really enjoy but that others value than the opposite. It is when people say, "I love what you do," that you actually start loving what you do too. Your why compels you to take action, which drives feedback. When the feedback is positive, this fuels your passion. Real love comes when other people value what you build. Finding your purpose. if you're unsure of your meaning and purpose, you don't have one. The only way to find it is to go out and start doing things. Find a problem in your life and fix it. If you have none, find a problem someone has and sell them the solution. Sometimes, purpose can be as insignificant as the pleasure to deliver value. It's called the value challenge. Go out and make someone smile. Pay attention to how you feel. It's usually very addictive. The author calls it the entrepreneurial heroin. The happiness secret. The secret to happiness isn't money, women, or unlimited travel. It's freedom. It's autonomy. It's owning yourself and your destiny. Owning yourself starts with taking responsibility for yourself and your circumstances. It is about having an internal locus of control and not an external one. The locus of control is the feeling of empowerment. You have to control things around you. You need to understand that if the weather sucks where you live, you can move to another place. If the taxes suck, you can move. If your skills suck, you can learn. If you're too fat, you can lose weight. If you don't believe that you have control over your life and act this way, you will never take any initiative and achieve autonomy. No one needs to give you autonomy. It's there for your taking. As extraordinary as it seems, control is actually within your reach. You just need to choose it. How to create a business that changes your life. Everyone that succeeds once has failed before. It's okay. The only question that matters is, will this failure be your last trial, or will you keep on hustling until you make it work? If you count the number of attempts Ronaldo made in his career, he has had more failures than successes. And yet the guy is the best football player the world has ever known. As such, failing doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is to succeed once. By the way, entrepreneurs fail on average 3.8 times before they succeed. So, chances are that you will know failure before you know success. Luckily, Fast-Lane Entrepreneurship can help you succeed faster. The Sense Framework. Fast-Lane Entrepreneurship is an entrepreneurship foundation that ensures your business succeeds. Sense is an acronym for control, entry, need, time, and scale. Together, these 5 commandments create a productocracy. If your business respects these 5 commandments, your chances to succeed are much higher. The productocracy. How to print money and sleep well. Advertising is for losers. Businesses that deliver great value don't need to advertise because customers spontaneously buy from them. Have you ever seen an ad inviting you to drive a Tesla? Nope. They don't even have a marketing department. In Europe, it's the chain of shops, Action, which is famous for not advertising. They simply are cheaper than all of their competitors, and everyone knows it. These businesses are productocracies. To quote directly from the book, a productocracy pulls money to the value creators, businesses that grow organically through peer recommendations and repeat customers, compelled by a distinguished product service not readily offered elsewhere. The productocracy doesn't use ads because it doesn't need to. Whereas ads push goods and services to consumers, productocracies use a pull strategy. The customer is naturally attracted because the product service is so good. In fact, the products that advertise the most often are the crappiest. They suck so much they need advertising to be bought. Think about it. When was the last time someone recommended you McDonald's, Coca-Cola, or Heineken? These companies are the ones that advertise the most in their market. A business that pulls is a business that gives incredible value. It's a business that solves problems a lot of people have, and that does it well. This is why earlier, you were advised not to focus on money but to focus on value. Because it is value that is pulling the money, not advertising. Engineering a productocracy, if it makes sense, it makes sense. While a good product is important, it is not all. The productocracy has 5 commandments. The commandment of control, the commandment of entry, the commandment of need, the commandment of time, the commandment of scale. Let's have a look at them. The commandment of control. Own what you build. The commandment of control requires that your business operation, from product development to marketing, to distribution, to everything else, be within your sphere of influence or diversified from influence. Basically, it is making it impossible for anyone to crash your business overnight. If such a person, or entity, or company exists besides the government, you are violating the commandment of control. Example: You are selling products through Amazon only. The day Amazon shuts off your seller's account, you're toast. You own 7 restaurants from a well-known franchise. One day, the company decides to roll out a mega discount you can't financially assume. Your business only runs on SEO. One day Google changes the algorithm, and you end up with 0 sales. Think of the commandment of control as the foundation on which you are building your house. Do you own the land, or does someone else do? The commandment of entry. Difficulty is the opportunity. The commandment of entry rules that any market you wish to enter or problem you desire to solve should have barriers to entry so as to decrease competition and enjoy healthy profits. The fewer barriers one business has, the more crowded the market will be, the fewer profits you are likely to make. The opposite is true as well. The higher the barriers to entry, the more likely you are to make money, and the less competition you will have. For example, there are only a handful of computer chip foundries in the world, because it is a tough business. Likewise, it means that these companies make hundreds of billions of dollars. Businesses with virtually no barriers to entry, selling a book on Amazon, starting a blog, doing dropshipping, being a tour guide, doing affiliate marketing, etc. As you see, the commandment of entry often joins the commandment of control. When an activity has no barriers, it usually means that someone else took them down for you. Amazon has taken down a high number of barriers. As a result, they are incredibly profitable. The opportunity of difficulty. There is NOF list. Most people fail entrepreneurship because they don't understand it's about giving value and not buying Lamborghini. Entrepreneurship, at heart, is about solving problems, creating convenience, and becoming valuable. This is why it's better to go for the hard problems than the easy ones. The hard problems are where the big opportunities are. When the problem takes minutes to solve, you aren't solving any problem. This is why there is no list. There is no step-by-step plan for building a $1 billion company because it's likely that whoever is doing it for the first time, and needs to figure out stuff no one else figured out before. This is why companies that invent new products are valuable. They're doing what is hard. You can measure barriers with the process one needs to achieve to create the product service that will solve the problem. The longer and more difficult the process is, the bigger the opportunity is. This is why there are a handful number of spaceships companies, and millions of restaurants. On execution excellence, while it is advised against doing affiliate marketing, that doesn't mean that you can't grow rich doing affiliate marketing. People succeeding in that space manage to overcome the crowd with execution excellence. And guess what execution excellence is? That's right. It's a process. The lesson of this chapter is that if you hope to win in a crowded market, trading stocks, or selling on Amazon, you're going to have to be the best at it. That means you are going to have to do stuff others don't do. The commandment of need. How to engineer opportunity in any industry. An idea is simply a minor improvement to a product that already exists. You don't need to come up with the iPhone or the car. In the realm of innovation, it's better to be late than early. Peter Thiel calls this the last mover advantage. It's the idea that the last one to innovate an already existing product is likely to make it much better than the first one, and hence create a monopoly. Google for search engines, Facebook for social media, etc. If you can't find an idea, it means you cannot find problems. If you cannot find problems, it means you are not looking hard enough, probably because you are focused on yourself, and not on others. The commandment of needs is the most important one. It states that if you manage to create a business that you control, with relatively high barriers to entry, and based on an actual need that needs to be solved, you will win growth, profits, and maybe even passive income for the rest of your life. Productocracies pull, value skew, and value competition. The value competition is what companies fight on. Everyone tries to provide the highest value with the lowest price, or not, depends on what we are talking about. The company that wins the value competition is the one the consumer buys from. The value skew is the subjective value of the product. Oil in Saudi Arabia is free. Oil in Switzerland isn't. You can skew value by making tiny improvements that your competitor doesn't do. Example: when Freddie Heineken tried to sell his beer, no one was buying it. No wonder, it's absolutely disgusting. So, Freddie, which was good at marketing, looked at the logo of Heineken and decided to slightly shift the E of Heineken so it looked like the word smiled. It worked. He started selling for millions. Value skew can also be price, ease of ordering, website design, guarantee, refund payment options, compelling story, packaging, customer service reviews, etc. How money moves. The value array and its attributes. A market is a giant array where products sold by brands each score on a range of attributes. The buyer buys the product that scores the highest on his array. For example, a buyer looking for quality will likely buy the most expensive product. A buyer looking for value will buy the product with the best ratio quality-price. The buyer looking for the cheapest product will buy the cheapest product. 3 identical products with different attributes, 3 different buyers. Skewing value is the force behind the setting in motion of a productocracy. If you don't have a business yet, you can sketch the value array of a product and see how you could improve it. It's called market research. Let's look at Uber, for example. The value array of people's private transportation is speed. Cabs take time to come. Uber does not. Cost ambiguity. You don't know how much you will pay with cabs. You do with Uber. Reliability. You know where the Uber is when it says it is coming. Comfort, accountability. If the Uber driver behaves poorly, he gets bad reviews. Choice. You can choose who will drive you. Payment, ease, cost. Uber is cheaper. And you get all these benefits. Cabs never stood a chance against Uber. Engineering value skew. As we said above, engineering value skew starts by sketching the value array of your product and the industry. Identify all attributes. The primary attributes concern the product itself. If you sell bread, it is the flour, the water, the yeast, and all of the other ingredients. If you sell wood tables, it is the wood you use, the board, the legs, the feet of the table, if it is extendable, how well it can be dismantled and built back, etc. The secondary attributes are about your marketing, your website, your guarantee, your packaging, etc. Whenever you have the occasion to skew value, do it. You stand out in your market and gain more customers. Sadly, most entrepreneurs don't see it this way. They fall into the trap of the 6 value myths and fail the commandment of need. The 6 value myths. 1. The market myth. When the entrepreneur ignores the market to do what he loves and opens a fast food restaurant next to McDonald's, he often fails. 2. The isolation myth. It's when entrepreneurs identify one variable only as a competitive advantage: price. When goods or services are chosen by customers based on price only, the industry becomes commodified. Think about gas stations, air travel, or mobile phone plan. These industries compel companies to a race to the bottom to offer the cheapest prices, and shouldn't be chosen for a productocracy. 3. The blockbuster myth. The blockbuster myth is when entrepreneurs wait for that one idea no one ever had, so that they can create a market and have zero competition. Whatever idea you have, you will unlikely be the first one to have it. What matters is not the idea, but what you can do to provide value in a way your competition doesn't. Jobs, just offer better service. 4. The crowded room myth. It's the idea that someone is already doing it, and so you don't do it, which is dumb. Do you think hairdressers think someone is already doing it, and so never become hairdressers? No. So how do you overcome this problem? Like above, you need to skew value. If someone is already doing it, you need to add something that will do it better. This is how Richard Branson started Virgin Airline. He thought air carriers that went to the US sucked. There is no sense starting a business if not out of frustration, he said. If it already exists, find a way to make it better. 5. The empty room myth. It's the opposite of the above. It is when, upon research, the entrepreneur realizes that no one is doing it, and hence, there isn't any market for it. Which is also dumb. 6. The use myth. Don't worry if you are not a customer for your own good. Michael O'Leary doesn't fly Ryanair. I doubt any executives from McDonald's eat McDonald's. I worked as a chocolate-making teacher, and I eat no chocolate. The point is that you don't have to use whatever you are selling, which is what the use myth is. Only other people need to find your idea valuable. You do not. 13 ways to find Fastlane ideas. Fastlane ideas come from two sources only: innovation, you invent something never done before. Improvement, you improve something which is already being done by skewing value. Innovation is what most entrepreneurs go for and simultaneously the most likely to make you fail. Improvement is where most ideas exist. In practice, choose either. Do what the market is telling you to do. Here are 13 ways you can listen to the market so you can find a way to create value. 1. Language. Listen to people complaining. When they say, "I hate, this sucks, I wish, I don't like," it means there is room for improvement, and hence an opportunity. Reed Hastings started Netflix because he had to pay the late fees after renting a movie from Blockbuster. If you don't like being among people, look online. Search Twitter for people complaining, or look at negative Amazon reviews. Or pay attention to your own complaints. 2. Inconvenience. Whenever something is inconvenient, there is room for improvement. Climbing stairs was inconvenient, so the elevator was born. 3. Simplification. Anything difficult is annoying and deserves to be simplified. This is why the iPhone only has one button. 4. Wants. The whole entertainment, sports cars, luxury industry, and more are based on wants. Unnecessary things that people desire nonetheless. 5. Service gaps. Bad customer service is an opportunity for someone to come and do it better. 6. Geographical arbitrage. It is taking something that exists somewhere and doing it where it does not exist. It is selling Belgian beer in America, for example. Didi is the Uber of China, and Xiaomi the Apple of China. 7. Crowd feeding entry violations. It's simplifying a business with high barriers of entry so that the crowd can do it too. Think Shopify to sell online, Wix to make websites, Uber to become a taxi driver, etc. 8. Value arbitrage. Value arbitrage is simply adding value. It is buying something that sucks, transforming it into something awesome, and selling it for a profit. Example: house flipping, website design, companies, restaurants, cars. 9. Repurposing. It's about taking a bunch of worthless materials and making them into something valuable. 10. Marketing arbitrage. It's about taking an asset with great value and skyrocketing the marketing to have more customers. 11. Overcapitalism. It's when a company that used to care about its customers starts suddenly caring about its profits. These are opportunities because it means that a crowd that used to be served well is about not to be so anymore. 12. Stakeholders' demotion. It usually happens when companies get listed on the stock market. Suddenly, profits become the priority, and overcapitalism happens. 13. Improvement. Improving a product can also mean removing a feature from the product. If the food you sell has too much sugar, removing sugar will help you improve it. 14. The worst way to find an idea. Sometimes the best way to find an idea is to do what you least want to do: get a job. When you get a job, you acquire domain experience which enables you to solve needs in the niche. If you don't have time for domain experience, ask the people who have it. This is how the founder of WPengine started his company. He mailed 40 WordPress experts for an interview about his service, got feedback, and launched his company. The commandment of time: earn more than money, earn time. The commandment of time abolishes the link between time and income. It has two components: physicality and detachment. If you write a book and sell 1,000 copies on Amazon every day, there is no physicality. Your book sells regardless of your presence. If you have a waffle stand where you sell waffles, there is physicality. If you are not there, the waffles aren't selling and you aren't earning. The second component, detachment, enables you not to care about your vehicle of wealth. If you own a 24/7 restaurant, there is no physicality. Your employees are taking care of it. But if you manage the marketing of the restaurant online, there is no detachment. The commandment of time dictates that a real sense business offers you both detachment and no physicality. To honor the commandment of time, forget about it at the beginning. Focus on a legacy value system instead. Legacy value system. A legacy value system is like a tree. You need to acquire the seeds and take care of it so it grows until you can harvest the fruits called passive income. There are 6 legacy value systems. Let's have a look at them, from the most autonomous to the least. Money systems. It's the goal of the unscripted lifestyle because it doesn't get more passive than that. Basically, it's a money tree that is printing cash whether you sleep, work, or party. Essentially, it's a rental business. That business is producing dividends, interests, notes, options sales, and partnerships income. The money system isn't a way to get rich. It's a way to stay rich, that is, you need to have a lot of money to earn through a money system, which explains its name. Digital products system, one of the most popular systems. They concern books, YouTube videos, website templates. Software internet systems, SaaS, apps, video games, etc. Product systems, systems selling products. The product itself and its distribution system is the central execution challenge to building this type of company. Example: food, books, clothing, jewelry, cosmetics, inventions, etc. Rental systems, renting out stuff, real estate, garage, cars, etc. Human resource systems, systems that require people to work. While a restaurant is a product business, it requires people to work. These systems demand multiple executions from multiple people, which makes them the hardest to execute. Example: service business, web design, copywriting, consultancy, brick-and-mortar shops, etc. Legacy structures are other systems that support your selling. They can be podcast interviews, YouTube videos, Facebook accounts, etc. The cost of a legacy value system. The thing about creating these value systems is that it takes time. So, think about the fact that disregarding which lane you are getting into, you'll have to work anyway. Would you rather work building a system that leaves a legacy, or work and leave no trace of what you are doing? It is better to work 10 hours a day 7 days a week for 10 years, 36,400 hours, than work 8 hours a day 5 days a week for 40 years, 83,200 hours. If you work at McDonald's for 50 years, there is no trace of your work. If you build a company for 10 years, there is a legacy. That legacy is even making you money. Why sell a golden goose? Why would you sell a company that is making you good money in a passive way? There are 3 reasons. 1. Will your company increase or decrease in value? When it's time to change technology or hire new people, or learn a new skill to keep your company afloat, you may just want to sell it instead of investing time in keeping something. 2. Growing a company is different than managing one. If you don't want to manage, it may be time to sell. 3. You want to acquire a huge sum and make it your money system to have all of your time back. The commandment of scale demands that the value provided be replicated through mass or magnitude. You need 4 components to reach scale. 1. Legacy value system. Your company must become an LVS by respecting the 4 prior commandments. 2. Replication. Whatever you offer must be replicated easily. If you sell bread, you should strive to sell millions of pieces. 3. Mass or magnitude. Sell a lot of good services with moderate impact, or sell good services with strong impact. Example: selling millions of pieces of bread versus selling 6 or 7 multi-million-dollar houses. 4. Profitable impact. You must be profitable now, not 10 years later. Furthermore, the market you are in should be profitable enough so that the ceiling is high enough for you to rack up millions. The equation behind this commandment is the expected value equation, where that value is equal to the sum of the chances of a business to succeed or fail. EX equals sum, time PX. Example: let's imagine you have the choice between business A and business B. Let's see the odds for each of them. Business A, E equals minus 10,000 multiplied by 0.6 is equal to minus 6,000 USD. E equals 50,000 multiplied by 0.4 is equal to 20,020 US dollars. 000-6,000 equals 14,000 USD of expected value. Business B, E equals minus 3000 multiplied by 0.3 is equal to minus 900 USD. E equals 6000 multiplied by 0.7 is equal to 4200 USD. 4200 minus 900 is equal to 3300 USD of expected value. Business A is the one you should go with. In life, EV is the outcome of many small choices and actions that one makes to improve chances to win. It is learning online marketing instead of playing video games. Starting a side hustle during the weekend instead of going fishing. Learning how to code instead of learning how to throw darts at the bar. Furthermore, if you hope to win big, you gotta play big. The plumber and the CEO of a SaaS company are both entrepreneurs on paper. One though isn't making money that changes his life, while the second one is. And yet both have to deal with the same problem. SHTY customers, marketing, accounting, etc. The three scaling systems. The truth is that anything can be scaled. You can do so in three different fashions: a customer strategy, getting more customers for your product, more clients for a SaaS, more foot traffic for a shop, etc. A chain franchise strategy, franchise your business, or transform it into a chain, good for brick-and-mortar businesses. A channel strategy, acquiring a channel that does the selling for you. If you sell your product online, you could seek out a way to sell it through a retail chain. Most inventions scale when boosted by a channel strategy. $2,740. This number is the daily profit one should earn to become a millionaire within 1 year. It's not huge. All you need is to sell 110 units a day of a product with $25 of profits. But let's not put the cart before the horses. Before you impact millions, you need to learn how to impact one person, then a dozen, then hundreds. Scale is a process, not an event. Executing excellence. You can't predict the unpredictable. Execution is when an idea goes from idea to reality. But what is it exactly? Many entrepreneurs execute, but they are not doing the right thing. They are action faking. Action faking is printing business cards when you have 0 customers. It is learning how to code without knowing what type of code you actually need for your idea. It can also be reading dozens of books until you feel ready. The truth is that you will never know anything in advance until you just do it and see what you need to know. Kinetic execution. Everything significant started insignificantly. Harry Potter started with 1 word. Apple started with 2 guys in a garage. And Walmart started with 1 shop. Kinetic execution is about doing things that matter and that get you closer to your ultimate goal, not reading the 10th self-help book on how to think about how to think. It's about seeing which problem you have and solving it, before going to the next problem, then the next, then the next. Kinetic execution is made out of the market mind, the 3 A's, the 7 P's of process. The market mind. The market mind is your master telling what to do and where you should go. It's what the market thinks of your product. You need to understand that markets cannot be controlled or predicted. This is why business plans are BS. The only thing we can do really is to engage the market and go from there. The market mind is why companies everyone expected to succeed failed, and why companies everyone expected to fail succeeded. Example: Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer's reaction to the iPhone in 2007. It will never work. Markets are not predictable. Therefore, your first task is to engage the market with your idea. The 3 A's: act, assess, adjust. In construction, high buildings must be flexible to bend to the wind or they break. Stiff buildings don't resist earthquakes. It's the same thing in business. You have to be flexible and ready to deliver the market what it needs, not what you want to deliver. Kinetic execution is action before answers, hence the act, adjust, assess. Action. Action starts, as we said, with poking the market. This will trigger a reaction, or a lack thereof, which will likely tell you there is a problem to solve. Solve it, then move on to the next problem. Assess. Once you have taken action, it's time to listen to the feedback of the market. You have 2 types of feedback: diffusion, when the market ignores or absorbs your message, example, no one clicked on your FB ad. Echo, when the market is giving you feedback. Whatever that is, it is your job to listen and assess. Adjust. The point of taking action and assessing is to be able to adjust. The key to adjusting well is recognizing pattern echoes, which are regular and repeated feedback from the market. If one client tells you your design sucks and 9 others love it, then you're good as you are. If one client loves your design and 9 others hate it, you probably should adjust. The 7 P's of process. Go from idea to productocracy. The 7 P's are plan, proof, soft, path, prototype, proof, hard, productocracy, propagate. 1. Plan. This step is merely assessing if your idea makes sense. Then, you need to make sure you have a market to buy. 2. Proof, soft. Now you need to make sure your idea can actually work before spending thousands on something nobody wants. This step is also called validation. You can validate in 5 different ways. Language patterns. We already talked about it. However, it's not because you are coming up with a solution to a complaint that people will pay for it. Channel research. If a similar product you want to sell has a lot of reviews on Amazon, you can speculate it sells well and that there is demand. Search volume. Log into Google Keyword Planner and see if people are looking for a service product you want to sell. Interview the market. Find a group on Facebook with your audience, place an ad, and see what it yields. Or do what was said above, where you call 40 professionals to see if they'd be interested in the solution you want to create. Market simulation. The idea is to create a landing page where you sell the product even if you don't have it. You can whether collect email addresses of people that are interested in your product, or sell it, then refund. Getting an email and getting money are 2 different things. Ideally, you should get money. The other idea is to build a dummy version of your product. That works well on Instagram where it is picture-based. Finally, you can also pay an influencer to talk about your product. 3. Path. Now that you know your idea has potential, we will design a path that will lead to your first sale. Your path is basically identifying the main things that need to be done in order to have your operation running. Let's say you want to make and sell a board game. The path would look like this. 1. Source board game manufacturer, secure product samples, cost estimates, negotiate pricing, evaluate financials. 2. Create the board game, graphic design, theming, and branding, card creation, board creation, humor testing, prototyping. 3. Operation. Create the LLC, get insurance, get a bank account. 4. Website creation. Find a hosting company, design hosting, find a mailing list software. 5. Launch. Find influencer, get press releases, marketing plan. As you can see, launching a new board game only has 5 major action blocks, each being divided into smaller subtasks. What matters most is to identify what is critical to do, like finding a manufacturer, and what isn't, printing business cards. You won't be capable to do everything yourself. You will have to outsource some of it, and learn what you cannot outsource. Sales. 4. Prototype. This is the part where you build the minimum viable product. If you build an app, that's the beta version. Basically, you should learn what you need to learn to build your product as you are building it. No need to learn Python if you are asked to learn JavaScript. Expect a lot of learning and trial and error. Second, you should build a product the market will ask you to build. Nothing is better than to reverse engineer the solution you envision. The prototyping phase is the hardest phase of entrepreneurship. It is the moment when one spends months, if not years, creating a product. It is hard, and suddenly, any other ideas seem more attractive than the one you are currently working on. This is called the shiny object syndrome. Don't give in and stay with your idea. Motivation can fade. Giving up seems like the right thing to do. This is normal. Only those that persevere will win. 5. Proof. Hard. Once your prototype is ready, you can launch it in the market and see. What you are looking for is hard proof, and hard proof is a sale. When you get it, your entire life changes. Goodbye 9 to 5, you will provide value by yourself. The customer life cycle starts now until propagation. This cycle is when strangers are turned from being oblivious to loving your product. It has 7 steps. 1. Awareness. Exposing your product to your target customer. 2. Evaluation. Providing the customer with enough information to make a decision. 3. Onboarding. When strangers become prospects, through following an IG account, signing up to a mailing list, etc. 4. Purchase. When the prospect buys your product and becomes a customer. 5. Monitor how your customers use your products. Example, they buy more or less, ask for new options, etc. 6. Engagement, building relationships with your customer, discounts, special offers, new products, asking for feedback. 7. Discipleship, your customers become loyal ambassadors for your brand, bringing you more customers. Every time you push your product into the market, you are going to get one of these 3 reactions. 1. An echo. It can be a question, a comment, a tweet. Any reaction that isn't sales. 2. Diffusion. If nothing happens, don't panic. Make sure you didn't make a mistake somewhere. Check your channel. Are you advertising to the right audience? Then check your reach. Maybe you simply didn't reach enough people. Finally, check your message. Most likely than not, your copy sucks, your photos too, and your website is lame. 3. A conversion. Congratulations, you have gone further than most people dream of. It's time to get back to the act, adjust, assess mode, and see how expensive it was to acquire a customer, how you can improve your product, acquire more clients, etc. 6. Productocracy. So you made a sale. Great. But does your customer love your product? Plenty of people sell, only to be asked for refunds later on. If your product has sold because of effective marketing and not because of delivering value, then you will not reach a productocracy. You reach a productocracy when one-time buyers are converted into lifelong customers and tell all their friends about what you sell. If your customers are unhappy, it is your job to keep on changing, improving the product until they are satisfied. The 3 signs of a productocracy are reorders or renewal, private emails with positive feedback, public reviews or praise from strangers. 7. Propagation. Propagation is the final stage, and the one where the money starts pouring in. Propagation is simply exposing your product service to more and more people. Attention, only productocracies reach this level. If your product does not satisfy, it will not propagate simply because you need word of mouth for it to propagate. Propagation is accomplished by reach expansion. It is simply putting your product in front of more eyes through ads, blogging, etc. If your product is a real productocracy, don't hesitate to give a free sample. People getting your product for free will tell their friends who will buy it. Channel expansion. If you are selling your product on Amazon, you should start selling it on eBay, Rakuten, on your own website, and maybe even opening a brick-and-mortar shop. Expansion of network can be partnering, networking, or getting influenceable people to recommend your product. Make execution better. 13 best practices. Number 1. Expect difficulty and deviation. Difficulty is self-explanatory. You don't make millions solving easy problems. Deviation is the idea that by listening to the market and adjusting, you'll end up doing something completely different than what you had thought of at the beginning. That's okay. What matters is to have a viable sense business. Nothing else. Number 2. Be monogamous. Developing a productocracy takes time, commitment, and focus. You are either Elon Musk nor Richard Branson. Focus on one thing first. Once you make millions, then maybe you can start exploring other options. Number 3. Balance is BS. Extraordinary results demand extraordinary actions. You won't get there by having a healthy work-life balance. It's all in or all out. Number 4. Environment is everything. If your environment depresses you and disgusts you, move. Find that city, country, group, cafe where you can give your best and that inspires you to struggle. If your friends have bad influences, ditch them. Number 5. Gatekeepers are dying. Don't ask for permission. YouTube, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and more empower you to do anything you want where there used to be gatekeepers. If you fail at the X Factor audition, practice and publish your music on YouTube. The market is the ultimate judge. Number 6. Build a brand likened to a personality. A brand is more than just a logo. It is how the business acts, its values, the way it cares about customers. The strongest brands play a role in the identity of their customers: Apple, Nike, Louis Vuitton, Lamborghini. Number 7. Consistency builds brands. A brand is earned. It is by showing, and actually doing it, that you care about your customers that they will grow your brand. Number 8. Sell or be sold. Sales is the most important skill you could develop. Think about the number of people you are going to have to sell to, colleagues, partners, banks, investors, your spouse, your kids, your employees. As such, learning how to sell is a must. Here are some strategies to help you out. Tell a story. People prefer dealing with people than with faceless corporations. Humanize your corporation, post photos of yourself or of people working for you, engage on social media, etc. Appeal to self-interest, meaning, and purpose. The quicker the customers learn what's in it for them, the quicker the sale, which is why you are not selling features, you are selling benefits. Build a community. Prioritize social proof. The best-selling method is word of mouth, hence the need to get testimonials on one's homepage. Number 9. Shelve your personal biases. It's not because you hate Facebook ads that Facebook ads don't work. Your perception is not reality. Business is complicated enough as it is. Don't try to be right, try to be rich. Number 10. To hell with SEO. If the only way you survive is thanks to SEO, you don't have a business. People shouldn't buy from you because you are first ranked in Google. They should buy from you because they love you. Also, the truth about SEO is that it works when people go to your website organically, meaning when your website is providing something they value. So focus on value, not on SEO. Number 11. Avoid fads. Choose trends. Fidget spinners are fads. Blockchain is a trend. Number 12. Avoid politics in your business. Number 13. Not everyone loves coffee. You will be criticized no matter what you do. The 4 unscripted disciplines. Design, then ensure your future. We arrive now at the last part, the 4 Ds. While making money is difficult, keeping it is harder. The 4 Ds and the discipline to respect them complete your unscription process. Comparative immunity. Well-dressed slaves are still slaves. Screw the Joneses. Comparison is the path of perpetual misery. So don't compare yourself, as you will always find someone who is richer, better looking, etc. Instead, be grateful for what you have. Purpose saving. Prepping for a lifetime of passive income. Your 3 objectives of purpose savings are lifetime passive income, early retirement to pursue your dream, and tax relief. Lifetime passive income. As we said, the best way to reach passive income is through the money system. 4 or 5 million at a 2% interest rate is between $6,500 and $8,300 per month passively. Enough to live anywhere you want. In order to structure this system, you need to have money, and in order to have money, you need to earn it and not spend it. Early retirement and dream pursuit. When money isn't a problem, you can do whatever you want without time or financial constraints. Tax relief. You are going to have to pay taxes a lot. Save for that. Financial reconstruction. Purpose-saving financial reconstruction enables you to develop good financial habits. It consists of 5 retooling phases: reframe, reform, reduce, reallocate, and remind, reward. 1. Reframe. Change the name, money, for value voucher, as we said earlier. Understand that €1 earned now is €1 that will create a lifetime of interest. Every euro saved is a freedom fighter. 2. Reform. Cancel every subscription that is sucking money out of you. 3. Reduce. Pay off debt. 4. Reallocate. Get some money into your money system every month. 5. Reward. Reward is when you treat yourself for having flexed your muscle and not spent a dime. Measured elevation. Reward and enjoy the ride. The truth about money is that most people are broke, even those making 6 figures a year. And that's because they spend everything. As such, what you need to do is knowing how much you can spend maximum per month, and not go over. If you are wondering whether you can afford something you can't, don't forget to reward yourself. Made $15,000 on a deal? Buy yourself a $1,000 phone. Made $10 million? Get a Lamborghini. But no need to rent the most expensive suite in Vegas. Consequential thought. Protecting your life. While you need a process to build events, one event can kill a whole process. Consequential thought is the foresight into the consequences of our actions, and knowing that our choices are unfairly weighted toward the bad ones. The truth about life is that it is not fair. You can take 10 years to build your dream house and accidentally burn it because you didn't pull out the cigar. One bad action can invalidate thousands of good ones. The other way around is not the case. Example: it takes one shot to be a heroin addict. The same thing goes for everything else in your life. Negative relationships or situations will eventually attract an event that will destroy everything you have carefully built. This is why you need to think about the consequences of your actions before you act, why you need to become a consequential thinker. You always have a choice, because you are the one that decides how you react to events. In fact, where you are right now is where you have chosen to be. It may hurt, but it is the truth. Choice is our most powerful weapon. Part 5. A New Dawn. Never work again. Welcome to FU. Once you have united the 5 components of the fast lane, namely belief, meaning and purpose, a sense business, execution, and discipline, you reach the FU level where you can just do whatever the FCK you want. Fail to add one of the components, and you will fail. All 5 are required. Now, there are 5 types of people that will fail, each missing one component. The competent self-destructor, missing belief. Your ideas are always dismissed, or you think you need to be greedy and scammy to make it work. The wanderer, missing meaning. You get discouraged and struggle to find out why you're doing all this, and don't do it as a result. The pay the bills entrepreneur, missing a sense business. Your business pays the bills but won't buy you freedom. The idea entrepreneur, missing execution. These people are committed to the idea of wealth, but not to the one of execution. The gambling rockstar, fallen from grace, missing discipline. You can't save the money you're earning. Which one are you likely to be? Your last business ever. If you want to the unscripted money system, it's made of 3 pots. 1. The FU pot. This pot is for the money you can afford to lose, namely, stock investment, angel investing, poker, casino, etc. 2. The home pot. This pot is optional and serves to pay for your dream house, which will be the biggest expense in your life. The author recommends not to have a mortgage but understands that one could still get one if it makes sense financially to have the paycheck pot paying for it. 3. The paycheck pot. It's the money system, the most important pot as it's the one giving you money without you having to do anything. The purpose of the paycheck pot is not to grow it, but to rent it out so you get a regular income. Once 5% on the paycheck pot covers your lifestyle, technically the rest is FCKU money. You can invest your paycheck pot into anything that gives you a stable and predictable return. These are stock dividends. It's companies paying off dividends. They are not obliged to, and the dividend they pay varies according to the economy and cash flow. REIT dividends. These are dividends from corporations that manage real estate and perceive rent. It's like being a landlord without the pain of having a tenant. ETF, equity traded fund. It's a fund that buys a bunch of stocks and evolves with their performances. MLP, partnership income, similar to dividend stocks. Bond interest, payment from loans you make to companies, countries, or cities. Loan interest, similar to bonds. Managed income, payment from a pool of financial instruments that can be a mix of all of the above. Before you proceed, you should observe the 7 rules that ensure your capital remains safe. Rule number 1. The rent rule. Every time you seed your money to get some dividend, demand rent, not hope. You absolutely cannot afford to lose your capital, or to maybe eventually receive these 3% you signed for. Whatever you're receiving must be a sure deal. Rule number 2. The SNAP rule. The world economy is not stable. As such, whatever you invest your money in should remain highly liquid and sellable at the snap of your fingers. If you see a financial storm arriving, you should be able to sell your assets in the hour that follows. Example: REITs, bonds, ETFs. Can be gotten rid of instantly. Real estate cannot. Selling a house takes time. Rule number 3. The apocalypse rule. The biggest and only threat to your paycheck pot should be a global financial apocalypse and nothing else. Meaning, your investment should be kept in banks. Too big to fail. Where, if they did fail, such failure would unleash worldwide financial apocalypse. Big banks often means big scrutiny and minimum transparency. Indeed, financial scams often come from tiny banks that can trick the regulators by operating in the shadow. Big banks cannot afford to scam their customers. Rule number 4. The 3 months and 3 years rule. This rule states that if, over a period of 3 months or less, any asset appreciates and enables you to cash in gains that represent 3 years of dividend, sell to take the gains, and buy back once it crashes, and you still trust the investment. Example: if you buy a stock for $100 that has a 5% yearly dividend and the stock appreciates to $116 in less than 3 months, you should sell and take the profit. Money now is always better than money later. Rule number 5. The Admiral Akbar rule: if you see stocks with 18% dividends, it's probably a trap. This rule states that things too good to be true are scams or traps. Rule number 6. The 1% rule: avoid any fund with a management fee greater than 1%. Rule number 7. The ostrich rule: the rule states that you should not invest in businesses that have no future or are built out of fads like Radio Shack, Kodak, Crocs. Unscripted, congratulations! You are now unscripted. I really hope you like this summary. You now understand what the unscripted life is. Please leave a like and subscribe for more book summary.